Good morning, Youngs Grove. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday so far. I'm coming to you live from my living room, and it normally doesn't look like this, but since we've been doing distance learning, my fireplace has become the bulletin board for our social studies lessons that my kids and I have been doing. We've been learning about the 50 states, and that's been very interesting and informative. But I just wanted to hop on here today and talk to you about fractions. Since it's Friday, we'll do Fraction Friday. If you've been in my class, one thing you know that I've said religiously on and on is that fractions are division. That's an easy way to explain fractions. It's just dividing. So today I just wanted to get on and we're going to talk about one whole and how we can divide a whole. So what we're going to use, Legos. You might have these at your house. If you do, then this is a great opportunity to practice fractions. So I've sorted through all our Legos. I've got a big mess in the floor currently, but this is going to be our whole. So we see one whole. It's not broken into pieces. It's just one whole Lego. But what if I needed 2 Legos to fit on top of this? That means I'm going to break this in half. I need 2 pieces that will fit over it. So I'm going to divide this into 2 equal pieces. Now remember, with fractions, they have to be equal. They can't be different sizes. They have to be the same size. So I have found 2 pieces that will fit on top of this. So I now have half and another half, which makes 2 halves. And I know that is equal to 1 whole. It goes all the way across. So if I break this whole in half, I cut it in half, I now have 2 halves. So 2 halves equals 1 whole. And one important thing to remember, this kind of gets confusing sometimes, is when we're using a model to make halves, we would make 1 cut straight down the middle, and that would give us halves. So 2 halves equals 1 whole. Well, I was looking, and I could not break this into 3 equal pieces. So then I looked and I thought, can I break it into 4 equal pieces? So I did find some Legos, and I'm sorry they're not all the same color. I was having trouble locating the ones that were the same color, but this gives us a little bit of variety. So I now have 4 pieces that will fit over my whole. So I broke this whole into fourths. So I have 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. And that makes 4 fourths, which is equal to 1 whole Lego. So now I got to thinking, and I could not find any pieces that would break this into fifths. There was no way I could break it into fifths for this particular piece, or sixths. So I thought, if I have 4, maybe I can fit 8 pieces on here. So I was able to find 8ths, and I can break this particular Lego into 8ths. It takes me just a minute to get them put on. So now I found out I have 1/8 plus 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 1/8 makes 8 eighths. And 8 eighths is equal to 1 whole. Remember, boys and girls, to make a whole, the numerator and the denominator, the numerator is the top number of the fraction, the denominator is the bottom number, those have to be the same. And when they're the same, it always equals 1 whole. So for example, 8 eighths, if I divide 8 divided by 8, that gives me 1 whole. So that's how fractions are division. So really quickly, I just wrote this down for you and I wanted to show it to you, show you how it looks. So we have 1 whole, that's what we started with. We divided it into 2 equal pieces, so that gave us 2 halves. We divided it into 4 equal pieces, that gave us 4 fourths. And we divided it into 8 equal pieces, and that's 8 eighths. And all of those are equal to 1 whole. So guys, I hope that was helpful in reminding you what we've learned so far about fractions, and I'm hoping next Friday maybe to jump on and we'll talk about equivalent fractions. So y'all keep working on your distance learning packets, and a great way to work on fractions is also in the kitchen. using measuring cups. So if you get a chance to bake anything over this break, that'd be awesome. But look around you and see what you can find that is helpful with fractions. I hope you have a great Friday.